Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, we're going to be talking about how to prepare your mental state before fasting.
We're missing a piece of the puzzle. You start getting healthy and you just become a better person. We need to start focusing more on the individual.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about mental fortitude. And honestly, I kind of have a lot of mental fortitude. I've been through a lot of things in my life, which has created the individual that you see today. And so based on my experiences, this isn't something where I struggled, but I do believe that I can relate, and I'm going to do my best to share some ideas for helping you increase your mental fortitude. On a video John and I did, or a live stream, I can't remember, a while ago, he talked about how there's power in just, telling yourself no temporarily, right? So let's say that you go to the grocery store and, you're checking out and you see a Snickers bar and you're like, all right, let me grab that Snickers bar, right? This is a last minute type thing. Boom, you grab the Snickers bar and the cashier says, hey, do you want to hold this? 9 times out of 10, you can be like, yeah, let me get that. I'm gonna start smashing that now, right? Tell yourself no. Say no, I'm gonna put it in the bag, right? You don't eat it in the car. You don't eat it when you first get home. You might want it now. It was a last minute decision. It enticed you, which is exactly what that stuff, when you're in the checkout line, that's exactly what it's designed to do. It's impulse buys. It's a psychological attack on you. I'm not gonna go there, but it's designed to do that. So if you say, yeah, I'm gonna get it, but you can at least put off eating it right now, that's a small win. That's a small win. Another small win would be like, okay, boom, Snickers bar. Yeah, I'll grab a Snickers. Nah, you know what? Nope, not today. That's a small win. There's power in small wins because it's like practicing for the big game, right? So let's not talk about something huge and a massive undertaking like fasting for 30 days. Let's just talk about decisions, micro decisions, small decisions you make all the time, right? Am I going to eat this now or I'm going to eat this later? Somebody's offering me a slice of cake. Do I say yes or do I say no? These micro decisions that we deal with on a daily basis are ultimately going to improve our mental fortitude on bigger decisions. That's just the way we are. That's the way we work. I used to be in sales. I was in sales for a very long time. One of the techniques that you use in sales when you want to get people to buy, so kind of like a psychological thing, you repeatedly ask them yes answer questions, right? You purposefully design a question to where they will say yes. It doesn't need to be about buying the product. It doesn't need to be about anything to do with what you're selling, but the goal is to get them in the mindset of saying yes. There's many different things on many levels that you can do to help build up mental fortitude, trick the mind, and things of that nature. And this is one of them. Because if you could get somebody saying yes, then when you go to say, so would you like to learn more about this product or whatever, they're more apt to say yes, just because you've got them used to saying the word. And that's how powerful words are. Words are very, very powerful. It's one of the reasons why I say to you all, especially when I hear you kind of doubting yourself, saying you failed, you're a loser, etc., you got to stop saying that. And I talked about this in my water series video, one of my water series videos I did in October. If you haven't seen those videos, you definitely want to check them out. But basically, the words are a vibration. That vibration leaves an imprint in you. The deep waters we have, we're 70 to 90% water, depending on who you talk to. Those words leave an imprint on you. So you want to use words that are uplifting and positive. And this is one of the ways that you can kind of help get yourself in the habit of saying no to yourself, to your desires, right? Just be like, hey, you know what? I'll have the Snickers, but I'll have it a little bit later. The funny thing about it is once that impulse moment is over, the strong desire you have for that particular thing goes away, you know, and you'll find this to be true more and more and more. So one of the simplest things you could do to help build mental fortitude when it comes to fasting is just in micro situations, say no. When it's easy to say no, say no. Especially, you know, we're talking about, you know, situations where you're choosing something that's going to be maybe detrimental or harmful. I mean, we all know a Snickers bar isn't good, right? You can make better choices when you eat, right? Just small things. Like if you're used to getting 2 pieces of meat, right? Instead of putting 2 pieces of meat on your plate, put 1 piece of meat on your plate. Because you want 2 pieces. You're used to getting 2 pieces, but what you're doing is you are creating a habit of being more in control. I know eating 2 pieces isn't good for me, so I'm just going to eat 1 piece. You know, maybe when you eat cookies, you end up eating half the box. Instead of eating half the box, still have the cookies, but just only have a few cookies and then close it and put it away, right? So these are things you could do to help build up your mental fortitude. Now, I know I've been showing you guys my journal recently. The reason why is because, number one, I want to make sure you're aware that they're available because I put a lot of effort into them, but they're a powerful tool for fasting. One thing that I like to do is I like to record exactly what it is I'm thinking in moments in time when I'm inspired. So I use the journal. This is a fasting journal, a planner. It's got recipe guides, testimonials, all sorts of things in it. We all like to write on something. This is a great way to support healthy alternative. But I like to, when I'm inspired, just write down whatever inspires me, especially when I'm learning about a new topic. So when I started learning about fasting, I wrote down benefits of fasting that I knew would hit home for me. I wrote down goals, you know, just anything that you could think of that's in a positive light. You know, the idea that you're more comfortable in your body at the end of the day was very motivational for me, right? I listened to a lot of testimonials and I just wrote down my thoughts. And I like to go over those thoughts, like as I'm going through the process of preparing for a fast, I like to go over those thoughts. Why do I want to do it? What did I learn? What are the benefits? How is this going to help me? And what that'll help do is over the span of, you know, a couple of weeks or whatever it is, I'll kind of refer back to those things when I'm feeling weak. So I'm in my fast, I'm doing it, I'm hitting it hard. And it's like, man, you start wondering, why am I doing this? Why am I even doing this? This is hard. This is torture. And you can refer back to your notes and be like, oh, this is why I'm doing it, right? So instead of needing someone else to motivate you, you can motivate yourself, literally. The pages, you write on the pages and you read your own writing. This is why I'm doing it. It helps you to remember because when you're in the midst of it, it's hard, right? So that's one thing I like to do. Before I start fasting, I write down all of my goals. Why do I like it? I saw this one guy, he was able to regrow his hair. This other guy said, you know, his acne went away, whatever it is. I also like to play out scenarios in my mind, right? Especially when I'm preparing for a long-term fast. Number one, I decide how long my fast is going to be. Okay, I'm going to do a 30-day fast. I'm fasting for an entire month, whatever. Okay, I know how grueling that can be. So I'm thinking, okay, at some point in time, I'm going to want to eat. I'm going to want to break my fast. I'm going to want to do this, that, and the other. How am I going to combat that? Like, so I play these things out ahead of time before it actually happens. Like I said, it's like practicing for a game. You know what I mean? If you were going to go play against Michael Jordan, you wouldn't just hit the court and just start balling thinking you're going to win. You would practice, and practice more until the game. It's the same thing with fasting. You're preparing for a long fast. Go through mental exercises. Practice. Okay, if I get hungry, if I'm feeling weak, if my friends are enticing me, how am I going to respond? You can actually have responses memorized. You know what I mean? If you want to take it that far, you don't even have to think about it. It could be like a reflex. Hey, Chris, what's up, man? Shoot, we trying to go out this weekend. What you trying to do? Oh, I'm fasting right now. Thanks, I appreciate it. I'll hit you guys up next week or whatever. I actually recently planned a long fast, and I haven't actually started it yet. But my friend asked me to spend some time with her in a couple weeks, and I'll be in the fast. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm gonna be fasting. I could easily just be like, okay, well, I'll just plan to not fast that day, right? And I'll break my fast, so I'll break it into 2 parts. So I'm like, nah, you know what? No, I need to do this fast. This fast is very important for me. And I'm thinking about all of the things I want to get done during this fast. So I said, look, I'll do my best to come to your event and support you and spend time with you. I can't promise that I'm going to spend a lot of time. It really just depends on how I feel in the moment, because I'm going to be in the middle of a fast. Like, I think we have to make sure we're not selling ourselves short. There's always going to be an event. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be a reason to break your fast. You got to know that going into it. It's not going to be easy. That's how it works, especially when you're new, when you're starting off, and when you really, really need this to kind of help boost your health. It's just, I don't know why, that's just how it is. Prepare for it mentally, right? Just go through the exercises. I also, and this might be weird, but before I actually start my fast, if there's a moment when I'm hungry, I think about it. I'm about to go into a long fast, and I haven't started the fast yet, but today I haven't eaten all day, right? It's one of them days. I have a lot of days where I do 1 meal a day. It just depends. It depends. I really do like 1 meal a day, but sometimes I like eating 2 meals. It just depends. But I'll be hungry, and I'll think about the feeling. I'll think about the feeling. I'll remind myself, what is this feeling? What does it really mean? What is my body doing right now? I will become intimate with that feeling. I will really get to know that feeling and explore that feeling. And it's almost like when you fear something, right? When you have a fear of something, a lot of times it's just because you're unfamiliar with it. A lot of people have a fear of public speaking. A lot of people who have a fear of public speaking aren't public speakers. They don't speak in public. So if you take the time to familiarize yourself with public speaking, you get into a few situations where you do a little public speaking, you start to lose that fear, right? So somebody who had a fear of public speaking now is a professional public speaker. And there was nothing to be afraid of in the first place. So when it comes to these hunger pangs and the fear you have of fasting and things, you just need to familiarize yourself with it. So do some mental exercises, okay? You're not fasting yet, but you're prepping for a fast. You're hungry, or you feel something. Explore it, understand it, learn more about it, do research on it, whatever it means to get more comfortable with it. Because at the end of the day, if you knew that hunger pangs, like if you were taught from day one that a hunger pang meant that your body was cleansing, it was healing, and it was rejuvenating itself, that pain would be associated in a positive light in your mind. You may not even consider it a pain. And that's just crazy, like how powerful the mind is. There are things that we experience that are like, oh yeah, that's no big deal. It's just, it's normal, or that's okay. So that's kind of like that's a little bit of a next level thing, but it's something that helps me. So maybe it'll help you. Anyway, I hope that something that I said, helps you in your next fast, your next long-term fast. Preparing mentally before the fast is vital. If you're having a really hard time getting past some long-term fasts, man, there's a good chance it's a mental thing, And I've spoke about in other videos about utilizing dry fasting instead of water, especially if it's the hunger pangs that are getting you. If it's just the simple fact that you're bored, pick up a book. Okay, I know my mom used to tell me that. Find something exciting to read, find something exciting to watch. Start a project. Start a project that you only work on when you fast. Start something amazing, something new, something different. And the only way you'll ever finish it is by fasting, because the only time you work on it is when you fast. that might be a fun little way to motivate you and kind of build up mental fortitude. I don't know, there's many different ways. Anyway, hopefully something helped you. If it did, don't forget to share my videos, like them, subscribe, and as always, the application of knowledge is power, and I will see you guys next time.